Now, the fact that season 2 is done, I have added all my reviews into one big video. So here is all that. Episode 1, season 2, episode 1, till season 2, episode 8. All into one big video. It's about 2 hours of a video. So yes, just all my reviews added to one for first for easy to access thing if you guys want to. And it's just an easy free video to do. I've said this in the past, adding some of these reviews. I also said this at the end of episode 8 review, that I will be slowing down my Hazbin content eventually in the next 2 weeks or a week or something. It really depends if I have any inspiration in doing more Hazbin content. I'll probably do edits and some videos here and there. But without further ado, see you guys next time. Well, let's get into the video, guys. Bye, guys. Okay, welcome back. Into this video, we are going to be going through the Hazbin Season 2, Episode 1 review. I don't have the title off my phone right now, so I can't really tell you the title. One sec. Title is New Pensius, basically referring to Baxter, of course. Like Brett brings up, is he the new Pensius and whatever. We hear that in the trailer. Point being, episode 1, also, I will be only showing pretty screenshots because, one, I don't want to show too much of an episode on thingy. Infield Prime and screenshots should be okay. For like a review anyway. Yeah, I'll probably get to working on edits after this. Honestly, I actually like this episode quite a bit. It's a great introduction to season 2. We got basically the whole episode with Charlie and stuff. It's them interviews and stuff. We got Charlie basically still mourning Serpentius. Husk and Angel basically being their self. Husk, just being a bartender and also being a bit more lighthearted to the guests. Alistair, he just couldn't care less. I don't know if that's because he's staying with Lucifer or not, but he just seemed to not care at all. He's just having fun, Charlie, and that's like suffering, I guess, of them consistently bombarded. Or he just doesn't get involved in Vox scheming, which could be one of the other. But Alistair just doesn't care right now. I've realised, so even though we don't really see him much in this episode, and we definitely don't see him in episode 2, so he's in the episodes less, sadly. But yes, we also get introduced to the new character Baxter, which they kind of belittle him by calling him an inventor when he's a scientist, aka probably on Earth he was probably a mad scientist, because he does say, you could even call me mad, so referring to that he was probably a mad scientist on Earth, if I had to assume, or at least he dreamt of being a mad scientist or something like that. And then there's the song Guarantee, which is honestly a sick song. I do like it. Not the best song of Hazbin, but it's still a great song, alright? With more context to it, it is definitely a great song. Actually seeing the visuals of the song. And then we also get the V's. The V's on this episode are pretty good. All of them. Valentina and Velvet don't really see the idea or the vision of taking over heaven and hell and ruling them both, but Vox ends up convincing them to rule both heaven and hell and basically become the new gods. Also, we get a bit about Vox's backstory. He was the leader of some cult. And that, I guess that explains why he's that political, right? Some cultists, I guess, can be political and stuff like that. I say some cultists, like the leaders, probably like meetings and stuff. So I guess it explains why he's good at talking and all that great stuff. So he was a leader of a cult, and in that time he felt like a god, and he wants to share that feeling with the other V's. Yeah, so I cannot wait, because honestly, Vox in this episode are great. Valentino has been annoying. Like, I still can't get that one scene out of my head where it was licking Charlie. But either way, we also know that Vox owns the news, which I don't know if it was mentioned before, but I guess it makes sense realistically to Vox to own the news. Basically tells them to put a spin on things and basically change up the news to make people, scared of the Hazbin Hotel, and then want to go to Vox for just for what? Just like go up against hell, have a hell uprising, stuff like that. They want to build their way to the top and to break open heaven, so they can basically rule both realms, which I don't think will be possible. think they would even achieve it, but I feel like knowing Hazbin they'll at least come slightly close to maybe doing it until Alistar or something like interferes, Lucifer interferes. I don't know what that big plan is to deal with them. I'm assuming maybe more souls, more energy, stuff like that. I have no idea. All in all, at the end of the episode, we basically get introduction to Emily, and the first Emily thing in this season. She's great. She basically comes there really quick, which we will see at the end of episode 2, but she basically comes there real quick and basically says all that's happened in heaven that we will see next episode, basically saying that Serpentius is in heaven and all that great stuff, and then basically says and then literally leaves. You will find out why she leaves straight in a hurry in episode 2, which I will do a review on. She basically leaves in a really quick hurry, and basically, well, Charlie's just left there in confusion and screaming, which I will say this probably comes into episode 3, with them knowing that redemption is possible, and them actually accepting it and stop grieving over Serpentius because he's actually in heaven. He's a winner now. He's no longer a sinner. All that great stuff. Honestly, this episode's really good. New Pentius, a great episode. I actually enjoy this episode a lot. I don't know if it's because I've been starved to Hazbin content, because I've really wanted to get back into season 2, and we actually find out season 2. But it's a great episode. A start of the season. There's a bunch of stuff going on. I don't know the whole pace between episodes yet. The first 2 episodes pacing didn't seem too bad, to be honest. But yeah, there are a lot of stuff happening in this episode. All in all, I'll give this episode a solid 7.5 out of 10. I feel that's fair, because it's not like the best episode I've seen. It's a great introduction and all, but there's also nothing really happening. It's just like the whole Hotel Hotel getting popular, and then Vox spinning the news, which is great. Which is definitely a great thing for later episodes. But as of right now, it's a 7.5 out of 10. I don't really bother rewatching season episodes, to be honest. I don't think I've even rewatched any of season 1. May do that, because I actually had to buy Prime to season episodes. So maybe rewatch season 1, I don't know right now. And as I said, on screen there'll probably be a bunch of pictures instead of clips, because of that. Also another reason is because on Prime, unless you're using a computer and other stuff, you can't really screen record or take pictures. So yes, so I can't really do anything about that. So it is hard to edit these reviews because there's no footage online. Okay. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe to all this stuff. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below of this new episode. And the song's great. I love Vox's song on Uprising Hell. Both the songs are great. I like Vox's song more, I would say, to be honest. I just think Vox has a great voice. I actually like him. Every song he's in, I'm probably gonna like it a decent bit. Every song he's in, even if it's a bad song, may just be C rank or B rank. Even if it's a bad song, by the way, so if it's meant to be below F rank, Vox's voice honestly brings it up, in my opinion. I don't mind. I like his singing voice. Okay, without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe. And also, do you guys think Baxter will be the next soul to be redeemed? I feel like it'll be too likely if they're not going to do that. Maybe the next soul to die won't be redeemed. I'll give my thoughts on the next episode because of a reason. Okay, without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe, do great stuff, and bye, guys. We're going to be starting off with episode 2 of Hazbin Hotel, and this episode has 3 songs. I think this is the only episode throughout the whole series that has 3 songs. There's the Serpentius Welcome to Heaven basically songs, which Emily showing Serpentius around, which honestly I did enjoy. I loved that. That was a great song. There's Sarah's Confession, great song also. And then you have Gravity, which you already know. I don't really want to talk too much about Gravity because we already know, and it's nice to get some context about that. Honestly, this episode focuses entirely on heaven. So episode 1 focuses all on hell, and this episode focuses all on heaven. So we get to see all of that. It is nice, but I do hope in future episodes I would believe they're going to show heaven and hell. That episode 3 is probably going to be heaven and hell both, they're both showing both sides and not just have a whole episode dedicated. But it's also nice if we have a whole episode dedicated to heaven again, I guess, right, this early on. I don't know how, we only have 6 episodes left, so I don't know how the pacing is going to go for the next 6 episodes. But all said and done, I really enjoyed this episode quite a lot. I enjoyed this episode more than I enjoyed the first one because we get to see Serpentius, we get to see what we also get to see the speaker of God. So I'm pretty sure VizPop said that they don't have any plans to show God in the actual show. So this is probably the closest thing we're gonna get, the speaker of God. And she does have I think she does sing in Sarah's confession, or at least she is there, present there. I thought she would be bad, to be honest. I didn't even know if we would get a God speaker. I don't really keep up stuff if that was revealed or not. But I didn't, if something like that was revealed, I would think there would be some bad overarching thing. But from the way they also mentioned Luke mentioned the exterminating demons, exterminating sinners, she didn't seem to be in the know-how. She said what? I'm pretty sure from my memory, she said that, and she sounded really surprised, and then they kind of didn't bring it up because Abel kind of distracted Luke and all that. She didn't seem to know of that, and in general, Sarah in general kept it from the speaker of God. I don't know if she was actually named, but from what I know, she was just called the speaker of God. So yes, Luke was also trying to convince the other angels to go back there and then destroy the sinners, with her being the leader in charge of the exorcist, which we know Abel's the leader in charge. Also, there's a scene where Abel's basically using Adam's mask, which I thought was kind of nice. I'm warming up to Abel. I like his father Adam way better. Adam is in this episode also. In general, Abel's pretty nice. I feel like he's just gonna be a coward from what we've seen. At least he doesn't like confrontation, doesn't like war and stuff like that. All in all, there's all that stuff. It's also, we get to see more of the it's on to my tongue. The guy keeps the gate. So I can't say his name right now. I just can't think of his name right now. The guy who keeps the gate. Sir Peter or something like that. Either way, we get to see more of him, which was nice because the thing we got, he was only in the Welcome to Heaven song, if I remember, and also just the God first introduction to Heaven, so that was nice to get to see more of him. Adam's return was also done really well, with Luke basically breaking down, and there's a slight smile when she thinks Adam's alive when she sees him, and then obviously, she just says, "I'm in your head," and there's also the scene where Luke may or may not have a one-side crush. People think Luke and that was only command and stuff, but from what Luke said, I forgot to tell you, or I couldn't tell you, and then Adam says, I know, and then he obviously backtracks because, well, he only knows what Luke would know. It does sound like Luke cared for Adam in a romantic way, but Adam never saw it that way. We will see in a future episode. I may make a video on it. Probably will, to be honest, because it was only theorized before, and people didn't really have a confirmation. People weren't confirmed on it. We also get Serpentius' backstory with how he basically saw someone get murdered and he was a coward to do anything about it, and basically he kept looking out the window, to be fair, kind of a creeper back then. But he saw someone get murdered, and then that same murderer went on to do 5 different things. He never told anyone about it, never told the police, never told anything. He basically hid the cowardice. I don't know if that's worthy enough to be sent to hell, but either way, that's the reason he got sent to hell. This begs the question if, from what I can tell, you have to redeem from your past sins. So depending on what you did when you got to hell, what made you get to hell and why you end up in hell anyway, you're saying you have to redeem that. It's not the fact that somebody just died, from what I can tell. It's the fact that he died while also basically not being a coward. He stopped being a coward completely, and throughout the whole season 1, I would say he wasn't really a coward. He standing up for himself decent bit anyway, but throughout basically the whole season 1, he kind of wasn't a coward, I wouldn't say. So obviously him sacrificing himself for his friends made up for his past mistakes and past misdeeds. Luke doesn't agree with it and is in an angry fit. We get Gravity. Sarah's confession was also really great. Also, we get basically Serpentius. Well, Emily basically makes these random egg boys for Serpentius. They are not I don't think they're the real egg boys. They're basically things that Emily created to make Serpentius feel more at home. Also, there's this one scene where I was like, oh my god. So Pedro's tried to shoot himself in the head. Well, like, they was just saying, welcome to heaven. Not welcome to heaven, but like, basically, no one here is like you and stuff like that. And he tried to shoot himself because there was no way to go back to hell. From what I can tell, so Pedro might try and go back to hell, because there's a scene what we know of that he's like in hell. So I don't know if that's a flashback, a sing-along, or like a song, or if he actually manages to go back to hell and get like maybe gets more sins added to his name, because he seems like he wanted to go back to hell and he tried, but he obviously failed in the song and all that, so we don't really know. And all said and done, heaven ends up, well, Sarah ends up closing her gates because she done bad things, and now she wants to close it to see. To be fair, what I really weird about is, like Luke said, they murdered Adam. They murdered one of us. You go down there every year to kill sinners, and you're saying they're bad because they're defending themselves. And you literally you guys are the reason that happened. It makes, like, really, it makes sense from her point of view because of arrogance and stuff like that. But at the same time, from any logistic person outside of heaven, you could say, they would easily argue that literally that was self-defense. Maybe not then, like to be fair, the rest of the people were gonna let him live, right? Adam literally got himself killed by staying there and trying and saying, I'm Adam, everyone came from me, and then Nifty stabbed him. I do wonder if Luke will end up trying to kill Nifty, like maybe not even seriously, but like, because Nifty wasn't like the general cause he died, like everyone else basically weakened him, obviously, to that extent. So maybe he'll try to kill Nifty in general just for the reason Adam died and got stabbed, right? Also, there's a scene where Abel tries to get his guitar before gravity starts, a guitar from his dad, right? And basically, Luke just says, get out, and then shouts at him, and obviously Abel, being a coward, literally leaves and breaks the guitar anyway. Like, come on, why the heck are you breaking stuff in someone's office, okay? It makes no... You're literally going in there to destroy an office. Honestly, this episode, like I said, I enjoyed this episode more because it expands more on heaven, and I really enjoyed how the speaker of God was really great, all that angelic stuff. Sarah's confession was also perfect with her regretting her past actions and saying that how many souls that they've killed have obviously, you know, could have been redeemed, could have actually been saved, because she obviously thought that, you know, these were never going to be opened and stuff like that. All that. Honestly, this episode is really great. Like I said, I enjoyed this better than the last one, because the last one was like just Vox and basically, you know, the Hazbin tells like parallels. They basically sing together, and then obviously their plan, and Hazbin tells, you know, getting more popularity, and obviously more people running away from Hazbin. That was episode 1, basically, in a quick summary. And this is obviously all about heaven, and so Adventures. It was honestly great to see him after a year and a half. Oh my god, I'm so happy to be back, and Hazbin content. Yeah, definitely. Also in this review, there'll obviously be pictures instead of like clips, because, well, I don't want to get copyrighted by Prime for showing a whole episode. I know, like, the likelihood of them like doing that, striking that out, because the episode's officially out, is highly unlikely, but I'm still gonna do it anyway. Plus, it's hard to find clips. I have Prime, of course. I watched it on Prime, but like, you can't really screen record that on Prime or on my phone. So yes, it's hard to do all that. All said and done, my favorite thing about this episode has to be Sir Pentious is in the song. Honestly, he was so great. Sir Pentious in that song where he was singing and basically wanting to go back to hell is great. I kind of want him to go back to hell, but I also want him to stay, so it really depends. But also, like I said, basically, Emily ends up trying to go to hell to tell Charlie what happened or what's happening, and basically that was the end of episode 1. So it ends in kind of a cliffhanger, but we already know what happens there. And then next episode, I would assume, is Charlie telling everyone that Serpentious actually got redeemed and redemption is possible. With Alistair maybe like feeling like everyone has a chance, maybe Alistair actually lets it in. I doubt Alistair or anyone else will be redeemed like that. But my best bet to be redeemed is Baxter. But at the same time, all in all, I don't see them doing the inventor, scientist one again. Like, I feel like it's too obvious that Baxter will be the one to be redeemed. Maybe they will, I don't really know. all said and done, this episode, honestly, way better than the last episode, like I said, personally to me. Vox's songs in the last episode was great, and Vox's character in the last episode was great, but I like this overall episode. I feel like the pacing was great this episode, so I'll give it a 10 out of 10 episode. Last time it was a 7.5 for the episode thing. That was just because I didn't get into it. I was smiling the whole thing, but that's because I really enjoyed Hazbin. But this episode is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Of course, you can agree to disagree. We have 3 songs, and we have the whole heaven. Looking at that, we have 3 songs. Of course, Sarah's Confession, I think, is probably the shortest song in the series. I could be wrong about that. I don't know, but it seemed like the shortest song in the series. But all in all, we have 3 songs. There's nothing bad about that. We have 3 songs, and the whole episode itself was really great. And I feel like the songs in those areas was perfect to have. We have Gravity, which is a fire. All the songs in this episode are fire, in my opinion. Some more than others, but they were all great songs. And that's just that's Hazbin. I feel like Hazbin, the songs don't carry the episode, but at the same time, the songs go along with the episode. They definitely add points to my rankings of the episode, but they don't carry the episode. Unless the episode itself was really long and really dread, and the songs do carry. But it really depends on the episode. Okay, that's just my overall thoughts on this thing, and I will talk about Serpentius' backstory in a later video, in a different video, just to go over it a bit more, just because, well, why not? We have a week to talk about all this stuff, because the next 2 episodes should be releasing next week, hopefully. I mean, they should be releasing weekly. Some people may think it's better to have 1 episode every week, which, yeah, it will be better, because it has something runs longer. But at the same time, it's you're just waiting longer. It's not you get content every week, I guess. But at the same time, yeah, I feel like I prefer it being 2 episodes. But I can definitely see why people would just want 1 episode, because it gives you more time to theorize, make ideas, make content like me, I guess, right? And all that good stuff. And Hazbin content will be alive for about a month or 2 months, right? Overall, I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. Like I said, a 10 out of 10 episode. And without further ado, you guys time subscribe, do all great stuff, and tell me in the comments how you guys like this episode. Without further ado, bye. One thing I forgot to mention while recording the video, I literally just realized by getting screenshots for this video in mid editing. I'm recording this on my phone right now. Is that Lilith does appear at the end of the episode, and this takes place when Charlie was calling her mom in episode 1. Because she was calling her and Liv cuts her off, and there's obviously a bunch of missed calls and stuff. It's hard to say whether she just doesn't care or whether she has a reason or whatever. Right now, it just looks like she kind of doesn't love Lucifer anymore and stuff. I'm not gonna judge it right now because I don't know, but just judging by this scene, it feels like it. So I don't know whether I like Lilith as a character or not, whether she's just gonna be there, and whether she just doesn't like Lucifer anymore, doesn't do that and all. At least answer your child's she's been calling you for 7 years, and all you do is cut off and just face it down and then just start enjoying your life in heaven. I just want to know how to deal with Maid of Adam and stuff, or why that happened, and why Lilith has not even told Lucifer of this, because I feel like Lucifer would know, but then again, it seems like he doesn't. So yeah, it really begs the question on whether she still cares for her family or not. I just want to talk about this quickly before the end of the video. So I just got done watching the episode 3 and 4, and in today's video we're going to obviously review episode 3, which is basically Behind Closed Doors. Now this episode is where the V's finally confront Charlie. Now, this is the main episode, well, obviously of season 2, and even season 1, I actually didn't mind Charlie one bit. She was nice and that. This is the main episode where I'm like, oh my god, Charlie, what? At the start of the episode, obviously, she tells everyone redemption is possible, the Serpentius got redeemed, and she sounds so confident and stuff like that. She basically, the first thing, before I even get anything in, she's like, oh, I need to make sure the story's right, and there isn't people trying to twist the story. You're going to Vox Tech, which it is, I feel like, most of hell. Even Vaggie clearly knows. Vaggie literally had told her they manipulated it on purpose to change the story. She's like, nope, now that we know all this, it'll definitely work. Contacts the Vox, and they literally start laughing. I'm like, it is so it's the main bit, and throughout this whole episode, I'll say she actually was annoying. Now, this probably won't move her down as a character, and it's okay because she's obviously meant to be the whole, super overall enjoyment moment. She only kind of gets angry when her friends are in danger, but like, or her friends are being like touched or getting abused or stuff like that, or like, getting attacked verbally or not verbally. Yeah, I get. But the fact is, she didn't consult anyone. She basically got Vaggie there. She didn't listen to Vaggie. She has not listened to Vaggie a bunch of times. For example, in season 1, when she made a deal, when she basically got a deal with Antstar and Jay shoved it off and basically just let Vaggie, thingy. The deal was gonna come play at some point, I would assume. And then you have, basically, you literally have the deal, like she just pushing it away now. I'm not saying like Charlie's a bad character. Still like a character. She's way better in episode 4. Probably not either. To be honest, I kind of zoned out when I'm watching a character. But yeah, it's really annoying. Like, it was super annoying for the whole episode. Vox and that it was kind of obvious they were kind of twisting it and all that. And then they basically ended up at the end of the episode after all that, and they found out redemption wasn't possible. Well, from there, because for some reason Charlie thought the moment Subpunch just got redeemed, it's so easy, just act like him, be like him. And then by the end of the episode, she realizes redemption needs you to redeem your original sin. I don't know how she came to that conclusion at the end, even though that is the right way. Basically, they're obviously saying a song about that. Song was like, she basically tried to get Angel to be serpentious. And then, basically, what happened is we actually got Angel's original sin, which is murder. He murdered his father. Angel Dust murdered his father. I think Angel Dust is a boy. I could be wrong about the gender, but Angel Dust murdered their father, okay? We don't know the context of this, because Angel Dust personally doesn't seem like personally a bad person, right? It could say they changed. The context could be like maybe Angel Dust's father killed his sister, and that's why his sister's in hell instead of committing crimes, and the 2 brothers are in. But I'd say 2 brothers because we know it. Angel Dust has a brother that's in hell, so that could be it. I might make a video on that. That could be it. So that could be the context, or he was an abusive father, which Angel Dust ended up killing him because of some kind of relationship. He seems like he didn't want to talk about it, or it was by accident and he didn't regret, and he regrets it. It's one or the other. It's hard to say, but it was kind of annoying with Charlie. Basically, I'm assuming a lot of people in hell don't really want to open up about what they did to get in hell, right? I would assume you kind of wouldn't want people to know your sin in the first place, or what you like and like thing. Because seeing how tough, like, no one's kind of talked about their original sin or what sin they did to end up in here. So yeah, I would assume it's pretty private information for sinners, right? And that's obviously your friends, you get close people, stuff like that. I don't know how Angel told Valentino. Maybe it was in the contract when they first signed. I don't know, or maybe he had to disclose it in the contract. I have no idea. But Valentino told Vox, and Vox told Charlie, and he got blurted out. And obviously now Angel feels horrible about it, feels absolutely fiend because and basically pushes Charlie away. To be fair, I would have, if I was staying at this Hazbin hotel and the first thing the person in charge of the Hazbin hotel gets to do is literally basically forces someone or make someone tell them their original sin, I would probably leave, to be honest. But obviously, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I'm sorry. Like, Charlie in this episode is not the best. Like, she's better in episode 4, but only slightly because she doesn't really have on screen. Episode 4 is really great. Okay, the other part of this episode, Haas said that Serpentius and Baxter were close. So Cherry basically went to Baxter to ask about their history. After a bit of convincing, we finally know their history. Also, Baxter actually helped create the Egg Boys, which is also really fun. I think that was confirmed that someone helped create the Egg Boys, so we know that is Baxter. It wasn't like confirmed in the backstory, but if you look, there's like other Egg Boys. Maybe he has egg minions like Serpentius does somewhere. It is also confirmed Baxter works for Vox Tech. So knowing that information, I don't know why we are letting him stay in the hotel. I guess he's similar to Serpentius, right? It also, like, in his backstory, he kind of had like Zestral and stuff, and his inventions were more like approved by other things, and he was still friends with Serpentius. They still worked together until Serpentius decided to leave and follow like a turf war with Ozzy Cherry, which is obviously, if you guys don't know, that's from the pilot thing, and there's some pilot references in this in the song. The song is literally called Pierce, by the way. This song actually, I think they actually uploaded it the other day. The song actually got uploaded the other day, or like 2 days ago. I saw it. I was like, I just saw it. I was scrolling, like, oh my god, a leak, seriously. But the song was like, okay, I need this to come out. I'm gonna probably do a bunch of edits. But that was so great. This is the only Serpentius we get in these 2 episodes, so sadly. So these 2 episodes are basically hell episodes. But we get Serpentius and Cherry love song kinda with all of them history. And it was so fun. And it is such a great song, and to be called Pierce. So it's such a great song. Honestly, all in all, I'm really happy we got Angel's, basically, we get Angel's story, right? We haven't got an Angel flashback. Maybe we'll get a flashback later in episodes, considering they revealed his sin. I wonder what everyone else's sin is. Husk still has his sin, all that. Like I said, in this episode, Charlie has been annoying. This episode is really good, the fact we get a lot of information. But I personally enjoyed the episode less. I'm obviously happy that we got an episode, because I was smiling the whole way because it was new Hazbin. I was waiting for like 5 hours for it to come out, because I woke up really early. I was waiting for like 5 hours to come out. A good episode, but the Charlie thing literally drags it down to me. And personally, I just couldn't stand her. Now, this is the only episode I would say I have actually felt that throughout the whole series. She's not a bad character whatsoever. It's just this time, I know she's meant to be, overly trusting, but it also makes no sense. Vox and Velvet work with Valentino, and Valentino owns Angel's soul. I don't know if they know he has a contract, but Charlie literally saw Valentino basically abuse Angel a bit, right? It's been pretty stated, so it makes no sense. It also makes no sense how they have Vox text number straight away. And Charlie gets angry and stuff, and those guys twist that. By the end of the episode, they basically release the clips or whatever. Basically released the clips of an edited version, and it is really obvious it's edited, to be honest. And Velvet basically behind the show saying, "Oh, Charlie put a fist and hit me," with her literally having a handshake. But sure, it is really I feel like if you're, I know thing is, there are a lot of fake news in the world, so it is a nice play on that, I guess. I can't wait till the next episode, because this episode is actually really great. This episode overall, for me, the song is so good that I feel like it has to go up. But the fact is, the Charlie thing really annoyed me. The one song that I thought was good is the Pierce song. That song is great. I've listened to it a couple of times when it got when it actually got put out. Overall, the episode was decent, good episode. Song great. The second song that was in here was the redemption thing. It wasn't I didn't really care for it. It was basically pushing. It was basically making Angel Dust be Serpentius and making Angel Dust act like Serpentius. By the end of that song, wasn't the best. I don't know what the song's called, but overall, overall a good episode. I'll say it's a 7 out of 10. The 2 is removed from Charlie, and I added 2 on just because of the song. That Pierce song is really great. A 7, I'll say a 6.5 out of 10. I just couldn't stand Charlie in this episode. I zoned out so much. So, not zoned out, but I was paying attention, but it was so annoying to listen to Charlie. That's fair. This is the only episode I have felt like that. Second episode, I kind of felt like it, but not to this degree. It's just I have to watch people's reaction, and I'm going to have to watch through that again. So it's just the only episode I'm like, oh my god, Charlie. You're literally paving your own downfall. What made it worse, in my opinion, Charlie didn't do anything to any planning, from what we could tell. She literally called Voxtex over while Vaggie literally said, maybe we should rest and figure this out. And she's like, yeah, get Voxtex on the phone. Now, it is so annoying, the fact that she does this. She doesn't even listen to Vaggie, who she's meant to trust the most, right? She has, she has not listened to Vaggie a couple times, and in general, it makes the fact that she hid that she was an angel less annoying, like less annoying in general to Charlie, right? You have not listened to Bangy for so much, and I get that she's meant to be obviously an overhyped character, but she should probably start like learning. At least I hope from this. Well, I know she doesn't from this technically, but I hope the fact is by the end of the season, or she ends up being more like not untrustworthy, untrusting, but like people who are obviously untrusting, like for example overlords who are only opinion is to basically destroy the Hazbin Hotel or corrupt it or stuff like that is the thing, because she trusts Alistar greatly, even though Alistar's literally has been known to be the most devilish, the strongest and basically heartless overlord. But yeah, so I've waffled on a bit. Episode 6.5 out of 10, and without further ado, like I said, the song was really great. The song, in my opinion, like the song carried this episode, but the main bit I liked about this is the Baxter backstory, Serpentius backstory, and Serpentius. Also, and like Serpentius, it was also nice seeing Serpentius in his hell form again, but and Serpentius in general, Serpentius and like Baxter backstory, and Serpentius is an Cherry's like piss song. I still can't believe it's called piss, but yeah. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe, do it stuff, and bye guys. Now we're gonna be going through episode 4. Episode 4, 100% might be the best episode. This I don't know, but the song, like, there's a great fight scene. Basically, we officially know like who owns Alice's soul. Rosie does. I think there was a theory on it, or it wasn't confirmed. I think, but like, because of the song, I think people knew Rosie owned their soul, because I think that song was leaked. I saw the song, but I didn't know it was an actual leaked song. I didn't know it was a leaked song, to be honest. I thought it was like a fan-made song. And I went there, so I was like, oh, I'd heard the song before somewhere. But basically, he goes to Rosie, and from what I can say, Rosie's the reason he's staying at the hotel, but I don't know why Rosie would want that. So Rosie's going to be a more important character, which might beg the question, and might think that Rosie, basically, Rosie told Alistair to bring Charlie to them to get her people to the thing. It could also maybe Lilith told Rosie to make a deal with this human, or Lilith told Rosie to make like Alistair do this. There's a bunch of stuff that could have happened. I don't know why Rosie wants Alistair at the hotel, but Alistair basically has a plan to cut off his leash and basically and all that, right? Also, Hosk, I'm assuming, knows this, like knows who owns Alistair's soul. At least he knows he's in a deal like he is. But basically, I don't know what the plan was to get away or something. But he ends up confronting the like V's or whatever, and basically calls them out, and they fight. Thing is, when watching this fight, you can tell, even it's obviously Alistair ends up touching on it, you can tell Rox doesn't fight Alistair alone. He has 3 V's fighting Alistair, and they all get cocky and stuff. Like, they're literally 3v1ing, and they're acting like they're like superior in every way. And Velvet's obviously filming the fact that they're 3v1ing Alistair. They're 3v1ing the radio demon. It also begs the question on how Rosie gave Alistair like the title of the strongest. But yeah, they're 3v1ing the radio demon. And then obviously Nifty basically picks up Husk, takes him to the field, and basically Husk fight with Nifty, Alice fighting Velvet, Nifty fighting Valentino, Vox fighting Alistair, with them eventually losing. I would say losing. Alistair is injured, and he technically was keeping his own against the other 3. Now, you think that fact that Alistair wasn't injured and was able to like use other stuff, this fight probably wouldn't. I'm assuming Rosie will be involved in episode 5 or something. I'm assuming Rosie will get involved in episode 5 or 6. It also makes like this episode has so much in it, and we still have 4 more episodes. So I'm excited to see what's going on. Maybe Lucifer will save Alistair. I don't know why. Maybe Charlie will ask Lucifer. Charlie will ask his dad to save Alistair. I have no idea. It begs the question, honestly. We get to see Husk fight and all that. It was really great. Husk, like Velvet, got mad at Husk for basically pouring alcohol in him when Nifty threw him. The other bit of this episode was based. Alistair ends up surrendering, by the way, just to save Nifty. I don't know if he did this intentionally just to save Nifty, or he had his own plans for. But he looked at Bounty and gun at Nifty, and then made a deal with Vox to do that. I don't know why he made a deal with Vox for that. He could have cared for Nifty. He came to care for Nifty more than Husk, but at the very least, he wants them both to go. Maybe he had to deliver something, or Husk knows what's up. Husk seems pretty surprised on why he's surrendering though, and Husk did call them people nobody, so I'm assuming Husk was a decent, powerful overlord to call Vox a nobody, right? So yeah, overall, it's nice to get more Husk scenes. I actually have been liking Husk this season. I liked them last season also, so I'm happy every time we get more of him scenes. I hope we get more fight scenes with him, because that little fight scene he had with Velvet was so cool. In my opinion, it was very great. It was so sick, man. It was perfect. But basically, we have the other part of this. I'll get to Alice's backstory later. The other part is we basically have Charlie on the news not learning from her lesson when Vangy says Voxtech is owned. The news is owned by Voxtech, right? She told him, said, "Oh, I'm going on live, so we can't edit it. They can still make you look bad on live TV." It makes no sense. I don't know why they're making her dumb down this season. Not dumb down, but more stupid, I feel like. That's just me. I'm not really going to talk over this part too much, to be honest. I can't even remember most of the details. But I do like the fact we're getting more news scenes. But other than that, it's kind of annoying the fact that they're making Charlie feel dumbed down, just consistently going into the Vox's or Voxtech's ploy, the V's ploys. It's just annoying in my opinion. And we do get an Alistair flashback on how he made his deal with him alive and well. It was actually really cool to see Alistair alive and well. This design, I've seen it so many times with fan-made stuff, and it kind of follows the same story as fan-made, as a lot of fan-made stuff has. I don't know if we knew his human design before, but yeah, generally I've seen that design so many times from fan-made stuff at Hazbin Hotel. It's really sick to see it again, to be honest. Really happy to see Valentino, I can't talk, Alistair's backstory when he was live. He basically was a serial killer and killed a bunch of serials, right? And then we ended up seeing him have a ritual to summon the dead. He basically didn't want to return to hell, go to hell as a random sinner, as a weakling sinner, as a tortured soul. So he ended up calling it for a demon, or basically a sinner. I'm assuming Rosie's a sinner. A sinner basically that ends up making him, giving him powers or something. Made a deal basically until whatever Rosie wants is complete. She will basically own his soul. I don't know what Rosie wants, whether it has to do with the hotel or not. But Rosie's also the one to basically make him go off air for 7 years. I have no idea why. I actually do like Rosie as a character, so I thought it was Lilith who owns his soul. A lot of people feel at first, but I guess it makes more sense for Rosie in a way. We kind of barely saw her last season, but she's also she's one of my favorite overlords, to be honest. I hope we see more of Zestral. We saw him a bit on episode 3, just a clip of it, with Serpent of the Baxter's backstory and stuff like that, history to go. Hope we see more of Zestral, but for that, and we also get a bit of a Vox and Alistair flashback. Not Vox as a human, but Vox in his old TV head. We get a bit of flashback between him and Alistair, and it was great. Him basically, looking up to Alistair, winning the star team, and Alistair's basically putting him down and just says, "You want to start a team with me?" Stuff like that. And basically, yeah, and then obviously he tries to get Vox riled up while he's imprisoned. He's captured. And basically ends up trying to get Vox to basically just anger, I guess, right? Vox shuts him up, and he kind of hacks into, his radio hacks into the radios around the Vox tech, and basically says, "You have not changed, you use other people for your power," all that stuff. And basically we get a new song of "You Are My Pet," I guess. Don't you forget, you are my pet. Well, not his pet, but you are my prisoner, or something like that. Or my puppet, I think it said. That's just basically a reprise of the song we got earlier this episode. We did get a Nifty song this episode. That song was fun, but it's not amazing. It's just her fantasizing about killing bugs. But the reprise of "You Are My Pet," I don't know the song's official name, but "You Are My Pet," that's the lyric I remember, was pretty good, to be honest, with Vox. I'm gonna probably make a bunch of edits using that song. I actually do like Vox's, and that's the thing. I'm happy this season we are getting a couple like flashbacks or stuff. We've got 2 flashbacks of people in hell, like they're hell flashbacks, not like upper flashbacks. We do get one upper flashback of like them of Alice as a human. We get a flashback of Vox and Alice's history. In both of this in this episode, which is actually super great. I'm actually so happy we got both flashbacks. Like, this episode is going crazy. Honestly, I actually can't fault anything about this episode. The only thing I can fault is the news thing, which I didn't enjoy much. But other than that, it's not really that thing, and I feel it doesn't even deserve to bring this episode down, in my opinion. It's definitely a 10 out of 10 episode. Enjoyed it a lot. Really enjoyed it. Like I said, previous episode, the review in episode when I was reviewing episode 3. Basically, did I even say what the episode was called? This episode is called It's a Deal, basically, with making a deal with Vox. I didn't say what the episode was called. I was waiting for this episode to come out. This week actually went quite fast, to be honest, for like this episode to come out. It went quite fast. I was making a bunch of videos, but it went quite fast, so I'm actually happy. It is crazy. We still have 4 more episodes to go. Okay, now I had to take a break between the last thing. But now, my overall thoughts this episode, like I said, 10 out of 10, really good episode. Hope you see more. Like, take on this episode, I hope we see more like Hoss fights, because obviously Hoss like fighting looks so sick. I like the fight in episode 4 of season 1. I like it. Like, actually, I just remember this is his episode was in episode 4 of season 1 last time, I think, right? And he also had an episode this time, season 2, episode 4. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. I don't know how long Alistar is going to be imprisoned for, or whatnot. He could be in prison till the rest of the season. I don't know if I like that. Like, by the rest of the season, I mean like till episode 8, because we obviously know name and titles. I don't like him being in prison, but at the same time, it gives more of a dynamic, more like a back and forth between Vox and Alistar. If probably Vox pulling the strings, by pulling the strings being the main one, like taking the lead of conversations, while Alistar had twist words and stuff like that. Yeah, and then Vox obviously, bragging about how he himself overpowered Alistar, even though literally, I feel like he even mentioned it in like the song of season 1, which is a nice callback. Is Vox as strong as he before, or is it based on his support? Basically, the V's, he literally is nothing about the V's. I don't think the V's themselves aren't like the strongest like demons or sinners, right? They're clearly not the strongest sinners. They have to have a 3v3, a 3v1 against Alistar. Even though Alistar is the strongest Overlord, we don't technically know that. He has a full Zestral and stuff. Although he is the strongest Overlord probably known, at the very least. Overlord doesn't necessarily mean royalty. Like, even Rosie calls us out, says, you're the strongest Overlord. You're not the strongest being. Like, you thought you could fight against an Archangel, aka Adam, and that also means Lucifer would probably beat Alistar relatively easy. Maybe not easy, but relatively easy. And it also makes the question, because we know in the trailer Lucifer does fight. Lucifer could get injured or even die, just judging by the fact that they know how to kill angels now. Maybe they'll like sacrifice a bunch of thousands of sinners to kill Lucifer, but or injure him. Like, that could be a possibility. What happens? Because relatively, if they go after Charlie, there's a chance Lucifer may jump in and save Charlie and get injured in the process. I don't know what will happen. Overall, I'm excited for the next 2 episodes, and this is actually what we really hyped. Songs in this episode, great songs. I love the Rosie song. I love the fact we brought Rosie back. I feel like Rosie will be more in more episodes. Maybe Rosie ends up breaking free Alistar because she needs something from him. But I wonder what Alistar's planning, because it does seem like he's planning something, with the fact that he said that's a great idea, that's a great plan. He's probably going to try to pull the strings, and by the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if Alistar's deal with Rosie ends up getting broken, or if he ends up completing the task Rosie set for him or something, and he ends up getting his soul back. And with Alistar's soul back, he'll end up having more power, and obviously more freedom to do what he wants, which would be like terrorizing, enjoying, and having more fun in hell, I guess, right? That's like what he did as a human. I don't know if he'll still enjoy the same fun as he did as a human, But I really enjoyed Alice's backstory too. It was really nice. I feel like most people really knew he was a serial killer. It was kind of, I don't know if it was confirmed, but it was realistically known throughout the whole community. And I enjoyed the Alice's backstory, really great. Vox's Alice's dynamic was also perfect. I am waffling a lot now, but like I said, 10 out of 10 episode, a really great episode. It might be my favorite episode this season, and I don't know how it compares to the other episodes of other seasons. I'll probably do a ranking at the end of this, when all the episodes out, of like episodes, like what from worst to best at the end. We'll have to see. Without further ado, see you guys subscribe, do great stuff, and bye guys. So in episode 5, Silenced, it's a Lucifer episode with some angel stuff and obviously Vox. Obviously you got Alistair trying to get between the V's, like their little thing, constantly making Vox distrust the V's or like try and push them out of the way. And obviously you can tell Valentino is getting annoyed with it. Yeah, in general he's just like obviously manipulating Vox to obviously push them away. He wants to obviously be better than Alistair, so he's obviously wants to be the one in control, which Alistair says you're not really in control, you're only the face, and that's kind of all. Also we get a Lucifer bit. Now Vaggie convinces Lucifer to obviously fight Vox. By fight, he can't fight them because I think he can't smite or go against sinners in general. He can't fight against sinners. He was able to fight Adam because Adam is not a sinner. I'm assuming that's what it is. He can fight angelic beings, but he cannot fight his own kind, like sinners, hell. He can't fight anyone from hell. That's probably why Lilith had the uprising thing instead of Lucifer. Lucifer can't go against hell or go against things because that's his punishment. I don't know if that's biblically accurate or not. I have no idea. I'm not a Bible expert, but yeah, he basically can't go against. He can't fight sinners. It is annoying because that is the only reason Vox is able to do this stuff, right? They have to make it some way. The angels, I feel like Sarah and Vox, I feel like Lucifer won't be. Sarah won't be equal to Lucifer, from what I could tell. Sarah's too emotional. Lucifer only cares about his daughter and maybe some residents at the hotel, but mainly cares about his daughter. Sarah will care about all of Heaven and obviously be more weak and emotional and stuff like that. Basically, Heaven ends up arriving because of some gift baskets. They bring gift baskets of Emily's idea. Emily's basically Charlie and Heaven, too idealistic on all of hell being good, and obviously, Charlie is just too into Vox's plan. She doesn't understand, and it's actually frustrating me. Episode 5, she kind of makes it back. I mean, episode 6, she kind of makes it back. But this episode, you don't understand how annoying I was just watching it. I was watching it why? She basically does nothing to help the hotel throughout this whole season. I don't know about the next episodes, but she does nothing to help the hotel this whole season. That is bring up in episode 6, but I won't talk about this video. It'll be another video. That's not brought up in episode 6, but she does that is brought up in episode 6, but she does nothing to help this hotel basically this whole season. It's mainly Vaggie and other stuff. Obviously, Alistair hasn't really helped. But basically, that's what. So she gets so mad at her own dad. In my mind, she blames a lot of problems on Lucifer. In season 1, she was like, "Oh, you never listen to me." From what I can tell from Lucifer, she never even called him in years. It's normally Lucifer who calls Charlie. That's what I can tell from season 1. And in this, she basically shouts at her dad to go home and leave the hotel just because they went out of line. And then she also has about Vaggie for do it for her, obviously taking something on her hand. And she brings out she says at the end of the episode that I'm the one who does it. You never listen to anyone but yourself. You're too concerned basically in your own head on what Vox says about you to the world. And it is just true. I guess that's what they wanted to make us all think also throughout this whole season. I'm pretty making a video on how annoying Charlie is. I'm hoping in the next 2 episodes she's going to be back to normal or back to the way she was, not manipulated like this. And it's just super annoying. Episode 6 is obviously a great episode also. It's just super annoying. Lucifer's songs in this episode was also really great. I enjoyed that a lot. But it is just super annoying listening to Charlie be a hypocrite. She does call up herself being a hypocrite in the next episode. But it is super annoying. She's consistent. Thing is, they bring up this next episode. But Charlie is the one who raised the army against Heaven. And now expects other people, expects that not to make other people from hell raise up against Heaven. Realistically, I'm gonna be honest, if a murderer started killing people and said, "I'm sorry, I won't do it anymore, will you forgive me?" What are you gonna say? Obviously you're not gonna say no, yes, are you? Heaven have killed multiple people. That realistically doesn't change. Although most of sinners probably have killed someone in their lifetime while they're alive. I feel like most of hell is probably murderers, I would assume. So there are obviously a lot of murders in the world. Basically, Lucifer ends up leaving the hotel at the end of the episode, and that's kind of where the episode ends, with Baggy and Charlie being split on stuff, and like they now will get apart. And then Lucifer basically, leaving the hotel. That's where the episode ends. It gets sprung together on how how Vox was so confident against Lucifer, but in episode 6, but I won't talk about that in today's video. Songs were really great. There was I think there was 2 songs this episode. I could be wrong. I think there was 2 songs. I could be completely wrong about that. Like I said, there was the Vox solo song, and then actually, there was a Vox song. There's technically 3 songs, but I don't know if they count as one song. The one with Lucifer and then the Vox one after. There was the song with all the Overlords, Vox, and then Vox and Lucifer song. So they're technically 3 songs. This route isn't much big because they kind of all happen together. It's a big episode, but at the same time they all kind of happen all together. So it's really hard to make a longer review video. Out together, sorry, Charlie being annoying, I know that's her point of the thing right now, right? She's just not listening to anyone but herself, which makes her an annoying character. The thing is, people, obviously, take into slander, if someone slanders someone on the news, they will fight back and then end up getting destroyed because even though they're telling a lie. That's not annoying to watch, right? That's not annoying to watch. I watch people cover that sometimes, occasionally. It's not annoying to watch. This is literally so annoying because it's right in her face that she shouldn't be doing this, but she does it anyway. And she gets annoyed at people who actually made a difference and tried to help. And then she also blamed Lucifer for the reason this war started, even though she is the reason this war started. And she basically probably isn't gonna apologize at all. She apologized to obviously Vaggie in episode 6. I'm just gonna spoil that a bit, even though you guys probably watched episode 6. But I don't think she even apologized. I'm gonna rewatch it, but I don't think she even apologized to Lucifer at the end of episode 6. I just don't think she did. I can't. It's not on the tip of my tongue. I don't think she did. I think she said, "I need your help," and that's all. And she didn't apologize. She's basically blamed everything on him and made him leave. This is why, sorry, I'm just super annoying Charlie's character right now. All in all, I would say it's a good episode, decent episode. I would say it's an 8 out of 10. Nothing too bad, nothing crazy. It would have been a 10 out of 10 episode because I actually loved Vox in this episode. And Alistair and Vox is dynamic, even though it was only for a split second. I love that. But I have 10 because of how annoying Charlie is. That's the only reason it's going down 2 points, okay? She was kind of annoying this whole time. She was trying to get Emily's attention. That was a big part of it for a while. And they were just watching her. But basically, she was trying to get her attention instead of actually stopping the whole goddamn war that's happening. You really think Vox, literally when everyone in the hotel was saying that Vox is going to do this and Vox will spin it. Second of all, I do love the fact that there's actual guests that consistently stay at the hotel. You can see a bunch. I really love that. That's a really great thing that guests are actually staying at the hotel and they haven't all left because of Vox's lies and slander. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Like I said, I also love the fact that Alistair is trying to get between the V's and obviously make the V's realize how much Vox is using him. Obviously, the V's kind of know it, but also at the same time, they obviously don't believe he's just using them. But without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe to all this stuff. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I feel a bit lightheaded right now as I'm recording this. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and bye, guys. Okay. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be doing a review on the episode Scream Rain. Episode 6, Scream Rain. Now, this episode focusing a lot about Charlie and Raggy, Husk and Angel Dust, and even a bit of Lucifer near the end. And Camilla Carmine, obviously we know that she doesn't really care about hell or heaven. She cares about her daughters and being on the winning side. Which in this aspect, she obviously thinks Vox has the best chance to win. To be being honest, we both saw that Lucifer, everyone saw that Lucifer can't really kill Vox, and probably, or in that aspect, they probably don't know of his limitations. They think he's scared of Vox, maybe, or he just doesn't want to bring judgment down on Vox or smite Vox, right? That we also find the revelation that Angel Dust and Vox, Vox was basically controlling or mind controlling Angel Dust to work with for him since season 1. The only time I would say I technically realized when I saw this, the only thing I felt was when Serpentis kind of looked at Angel Dust, right? it's either there's more ways he could have been hypnotized during that, or that because he could have been hypnotized before it, and the fact that when Serpent just did that, it was trying to like it was a defense mechanism, and Angel Dust's eyes kind of lit up to indicate that he was hypnotized before. So example one, I doubt if it was the other one with Serpent just doing it. I'm assuming he didn't do it knowingly, and Vox did it somehow using him. But yeah, Fox probably having had that hypnotized in season one, episode two, when he first basically got introduced as a villain. Basically, we also get a Hoska song. That's so great. Hoss actually quits Hotel, which is honestly probably the most like logical quit I've ever seen. Like out of everyone who's quit the hotel, Aztec quit because he got annoyed. Hoss quit literally because of the fact that Charlie and Vaggie like Vaggie came from the hotel while arguing with Charlie. Charlie's just arguing and crying, and then when Pascal left, she blamed Vaggie and said, "Now what? Now who's got back to the bar?" Like from this episode, it seems like they're gonna not be this annoying anymore, which I'm really happy for. Like, it seems they're not going to be this annoying anymore. I can't talk too loudly. It's like 9 o'clock. Also, sorry if these reviews are coming out late. I simply was ill, and after I recorded the first review, and then I went to sleep, and I uploaded that review. Now I'm uploading this one. Like I said, I was ill, and like for basically the whole day, I couldn't really do anything. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Honestly, I'm really sad for these two episodes to come out because it's killing me. But yeah, we also get like the Hoss song. There's a bunch of references to Loser Baby. Great song. Also, probably a bunch of edits on that when I do that. He goes to a casino which I believe is owned by him. I could be wrong in this. It could not be owned by him. I believe it is owned by him just by the counting thing. And maybe the people here in the song actually do like respect Hoss or something. Or he's like a regular gambler here, or used to be a regular. All in all, it's nice to see that we actually get to see him in a casino, which honestly was really great. I actually love that scene. I'm a really huge Husk fan, in my opinion. Like, there's also a bunch of Husk and Angel stuff happening, but like I said, I'm a huge Husk fan on its own. Like, I don't know the shit for Husk and Angel, but I'm like in general, I don't mind the shit because it's like relevant to the show, considering it's actually pretty canon. But all in all, that we do get like a lot of Husk stuff, and I'm very happy about that. Like I said, Husk Queen was literally the most like correct thing to do. They kept arguing in front of him, and then kept telling Husk to tell Love to do that, and he just didn't even comply. He just yeah, it was all over the place. They went to Comic-Con. We also got a flashback of how Luke and Adam basically killed, or at least took away one of Vaggie's friends. Maybe that's how Vaggie decided to let Cinna go because she felt the same pain or something. I don't really know, but that was very interesting. It was like a quick sequence, so I do hope that gets touched on maybe in season three or season two later on. I'm really hyped for these last two episodes. Like by hyped, I'm also really annoyed that I have to wait another week. Like like last week killed me waiting. Sorry, I'm like talking out of the review for a bit, but like killed me. Like I said, Charlie was still annoying in this episode, but less annoying compared to another one. But still annoying. Like this whole episode, until the song part, like until them and Vaggie's song, she was like kind of annoying. Vaggie also had annoying parts, but Vaggie's being annoying was kind of justified because like the whole scene basically to sum up Charlie's thing, Charlie wants the hotel to be good, doesn't want it to be full ruined because she thinks it's her mother's only thing, and also she gets annoyed that Vox is basically calling her mother's like resistance stuff. Like she was meant to do was wage war against heaven, and she did that in episode two, last episode two, basically using Lilith's like rise and the rise against heaven and stuff to trick sinners into rising. Obviously, in season one, we know that heaven kind of got threatened by the surprising power and helping sinners actually rise against them, and they were kind of scared. And now Vox is doing the same thing to hopefully have the same result. So them being scared, like last time, the sinners basically had the sinners had last time basically Lilith had to make a deal, or the winners or the angels, whatever you want to call them, made a deal with Lilith, and Lilith is in heaven, I'm assuming. And then obviously the rise thing happened. Also, from what I can tell, the Rise thing happened only 7 years ago because it happened like shortly after exterminations were enabled. That's was 7 years ago. So it probably happened a decent bit, couple years, couple maybe thousand years. Don't know how hell's like time works. Before the exterminations happened, but it didn't happen too often, too long in the grand scheme of hell. How long has hell been a thing? So it hasn't happened that long in general, to be fair. So yes, but there's a bunch of stuff. Angel has a song which honestly makes me. I felt really uncomfortable having Angel in like all that drag stuff. If you if you liked it, consider it to you. The song itself was great, and the Husk and Angel ship perfect. Yeah, I just prefer Angel's normal clothes personally. But like I said, it's up to you. And second of all, we basically find out, like I said at the beginning of this episode, that Vox has been hypnotizing Angel throughout the season one. I feel like they just dropped this here so he can know, but in episode 5, you know that you kind of get a reference that the fact that Vox called Lucifer Lou is when Baggy was basically telling Lucifer Lou like Lucifer told Draggy to call him Lou in episode 5, and Angel was outside listening. So basically, we were able to see that. There, it's basically a reference to how he kind of knew. I don't think anyone. I didn't pick up on it at first. I I didn't pick up on it at all. Maybe you could have picked up on it. I want to see other people's reactions. I'll probably watch a bunch of reactions, but maybe you could have picked up on it. But I personally didn't pick up on it straight away. And then obviously people called out. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. You did call him Lou. But also, like I said, that I kind of want to go back from Real Season 1. I feel like some people will just to see if there's any Easter eggs and stuff. The only one I can find, like I said, is the Serpentious one where he basically, he basically gets like Angel off of him and he gets a little hypnotized in the eye. But that could have been, he could have already been hypnotized and that could have just showed his hypnotized eyes for like just a split second. But like back then, you would have thought it was Serpentious doing for like a split second and it broke, right? But now it's most likely was Vox's doing before that scene. So I'm really interested. And by the end of the thing, I actually didn't notice this. I don't know how I didn't. I was so confused what happened at the end. I don't know why I didn't notice this. I was like ill when I was watching this, so it could be that. But Lucifer Fox is tricking Lucifer to use him as a power source, and Lucifer is basically like by that Fox. I don't know how Fox was able to call Thingy's Lucifer's personal phone as Charlie, and then I know I can change voice. Basically, use his voice as Charlie, and all that, and they're trying to use Lucifer as a power source. I don't know how they're gonna go about capturing Lucifer. Maybe using Angel as a hostage, because like Lucifer can't harm them, from what it seems. But he also, I think there are rules if they break. Lucifer does have the right to intervene in said stuff. He was able to hit Adam, but I don't know if that's because like he can only attack angelic beings, or if that's because Adam attacked Charlie first, right? So like I said, that Gavin, I saw that in episode 8, no 7. Lucifer's going to get captured. That's pretty guaranteed. So you've got Aslan, Lucifer captured, and Angel. And just judging by the picture on episode 8, like there's a picture there, you can see the pre-picture. Those three aren't there, I'm pretty sure. So those all are going to be captured for the rest of the season till episode 8. And then we're going to have I really want Husk won't fight Vox, sadly. I would like to have a Husk versus Valentino. If we're going people who are still left, Husk or Cherry versus Valentino, or both versus Valentino. It would be cool to have him first Velvet, but just first in Valentino just to get revenge on for what Angel Dust did. There's also a slight chance the two Valentino and Velvet betray Vox because Asda, even in this episode, is getting between them. He's not realistically saying to the other V's, he's just saying to Vox and showing the other V's how he's just using them for his own profit, which is pretty obvious to see. And then in this episode, he basically tries to like command Val, and obviously that doesn't work on Val, which makes you wonder. I still don't understand how they're gonna use like Lucifer as a thing. Which would be interesting is if at the end of the season, Vox ends up coming out on top, but like some other angelic being other than the speak of God, like for example Michael or something like that. Michael, I can say his name, Michael. One of the other archangels, Michael, ends up coming down or something. We haven't really seen any other biblical angels other than like Lucifer, of course. Lucifer's there, but we haven't really seen any other archangels. So it would be interesting if like Michael or someone else comes down. I don't know if like it's been confirmed if we're only getting Lucifer as like original archangel. Because seraphims and that, I would love in the season. I really want to have a Lucifer and Sarah conversation. To be honest, I would really love that because like that's something I personally want. I wanted it to happen when I saw Sarah come to hell. I was like, please have a Lucifer, please talk to Lucifer because like that whole scene was like you end up like Lucifer fallen. Maybe they were close in the past. I would like to see them talk again. It would be nice to be honest, because from what I can tell, Lucifer doesn't really attend the meetings. I don't think he's ever attended a meeting, and Adam was the one meeting, not even Sarah. So yes, there's that, and those meetings have probably been going on for like 7 years, not even that long. So yes, all in all, I would love a song or a talk between them. And maybe we'll get another Lucifer song in the episode with him like basically singing to Vox when he's in a chair. Lucifer. I feel like that what I want to happen is when they hear the news that Lucifer is captured and has the thing, I want Charlie to feel that it's her fault. Now this may be vain, but she was the one like you could say like one from them both being bad thing, bad daughter and bad father, right? One, Lucifer never really talked to her in years, but at the same time, Charlie never tried to reach out to Lucifer, so it's like both the same situation there. And from what I've seen, Lucifer has tried to do the best for Charlie, and Charlie hasn't really done the same for Lucifer, especially this season, like especially in the last episode. But like tries to want Lucifer and cares for Lucifer and still cares for Lucifer as a obviously daughter and stuff. So I wonder how she'll react to the news that her father is being drained. I don't know if that will kill Lucifer. I don't know if Lucifer can technically die. I feel like an archangel can die because Adam is an archangel, right? Adam's an archangel, so Adam died, but Adam was also technically formerly a mortal soul. So can an original born archangel from the hands of God die by this stuff? I don't know if that is possible. We will have to see. But if Lucifer would, if like Lucifer was to die, I can already tell you the fan base is gonna be in uproar. Even I will be annoyed if Lucifer dies. That's just my thing. It will be things to tell the thing. Maybe have the idea that Lilith might intervene if Lucifer's captured. Maybe I don't really know like Lilith and Lucifer's full relationship because I don't know how much Lilith seemed to care about Lucifer a lot from the beginning, but at the same time now they don't really talk, and Lucifer still cares for Lilith because she gets a lot of calls. So I wonder if Lilith hears the news that the one in heaven, we don't know if it's Lilith or Eve. There's still like a thing there. Although the only thing I can say is that the calls do go through to our phone, which then again, Vox is calling Lucifer as Charlie on his phone, so it could be something similar. Um, yeah, I don't know if that is Liv or if that's Rue, like Eve, and all that. I have no idea. All I can say for sure is I'm really excited. Cannot wait for these next two episodes. We have 6 days as of recording this, because the morning as of recording this. 6 goddamn days to wait. I'll probably do a bunch of edits and stuff like that. I've been on top of my Hazbin Hotel content and all that. Also, at the end of when the Hazbin Hotel reviews finish up, we have two more reviews episodes. I'll probably sorry if you hear that noise. I'm recording on like a video game because I'm going on PlayStation mic. But I'll probably add them all them together as a one big season 2 review. So it'll be like all my episode reviews. So yeah, just for that. If you see that video, it'll probably be like an hour or maybe 2 hours long, depending on how long the next two reviews are. I've said my piece for this. Like I said, oh wait, the Charlie and Baggy song actually is really great. Like I actually love that song. Like the song did start randomly. I knew the song was gonna come out. I just didn't know where they were gonna put it. The dresses, nice, sick. You can technically call this if you want the gay episode because obviously by gay, a good gay, not like bad gay. You have basically you have Ozzy Husk and Angel, and then you have Baggy and Charlie, there's top my tongue. Charlie, Savannah Charlie, and Angel and Husk both have saying it's basically also a fan service episode at same point as it is like a thing to the plot. Just judging by how last evening went, next episode will be mainly focused on what to do, and then episode 8 will be focused on some big battle. That's just judging by what happened last time, because episode 7 last time was focused on rallying hell against heaven, and episode 8 was focused on fighting against heaven. So this will probably be the same, rallying to stop the big war. Like Rosie, she'll probably go to Rosie or something. I feel like Rosie will help. We'll just have to see. Um, in general, I wonder what Alice is planning, because Alice was next to him at the start, so I feel like Alice is going. I just don't understand how they're gonna capture Vox. Like, capture Lucifer. I'm sure there's no technology here that can capture Lucifer, unless they built a weapon. Maybe they're building a weapon that can capture Lucifer also with angelic steel or something like that. I feel like something angelic would be able to capture Lucifer, because I feel like just ropes and stuff like he's done to Alistair won't be able to hold him down. Because Alistair's there because he has a deal. But also, maybe the King of Hell can also break deals. I don't really know if that is a thing. In fact, the King of Hell can just break a deal, like break someone's deal. Like, for example, if he knew Angels didn't deal with Valentino, just breaks in half. The one thing that bothers me is I don't know how. I feel like if Vox was hypnotizing someone, even if it's discreet and we didn't even know, I feel like Lucifer or even Alistair would have found out. That's the one thing I don't get. Like, surely the King of Hell, who has the most power in hell, technically, even if he's restricted right now, would be able to like figure out if someone's being hypnotized in his whereabouts or someone being like used. Maybe he did, but he didn't know it was an angel or didn't know it was going to affect the hotel. I don't know. That's the only thing that I was like, how the heck did no one find out he was hypnotized the whole time? Especially, he kept deleting the messages after he sent it, of course. But other than that, like, I think deleting it from his side. Other than that, thingy, it's kind of annoying to see them downplay Lucifer this much. I do hope he gets a thingy by the end because it's kind of annoying. I don't know if I'll rewatch this season. I didn't really rewatch season 1, but like this season it's just like Charlie's like nagging and being annoying most percent. I get that it's for character development and it's to make Vox more of a villain, but it's still annoying. I've been talking about this a lot now. All in all, Charlie being annoying this episode, like I said, was way less, and the fact that they fixed it, it doesn't really bother me because it was like 50-50, and the hard stuff definitely makes up for it. Moves the plot forward. Also, Lucifer being used as Vox's little like capture thing is really great. I do like the idea. Just don't know how they're gonna pull it off. That obviously he's gonna meet them and they're gonna have a trap set up. But and you know, what Lucifer isn't really like smart when it comes to his door. I would say Lucifer's like, oh, my door needs me. Yeah, I'll be a right a second. But also, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know how to figure out earlier, like last time. It does just sound like really fake. Like honestly, like I thought like Charlie's gonna call Lucifer and then realize that Lucifer's not answering because they've just made up and they want to get everyone together. And obviously, I feel like maybe he doesn't call his dad because she's still mad at him, but at the same time, she's made up of value, so I doubt she's mad at her dad. But if she is, that's a bit hypocritical. The songs are great in this episode. My least favorite song is the Angel Dust song, but it isn't a bad song per se. My favorite song is Huss, Losing the Ball, and then Vangy and Charlie, and then Angel Dust. The episode itself, in my opinion, is a 10 out of 10, actually. I didn't really hate it, even if Charlie was annoying sometimes. Like, it wasn't too annoying to, like, make me zone out to what she was talking about. Like, I feel like Camilla Carmine might betray Vox, and the V's also might betray Vox. It's like a 50-50. Some people saying Vox will betray the V's. I feel like it's more the fact that it's setting it up to Valentino and Velvet end up betraying Vox and trying to rule themselves, or at least betraying Vox, or bring down Vox with them, or something. Because of how Vox is trying to be like if you go through the whole season, he's constantly talking about, oh my god, it's me, it's me, it's me, and then when he's talking to Alistair, he's like basically, I'm the one in control, I'm the ringmaster, I'm the face. Yeah, Vox is probably gonna be his own downfall in the end of the day, right? The bigger you are, the harder you fall. Like literally, bigger you are, the harder you fall. That's like the whole term of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the V's betray Vox. But I don't know how will happen to the V's per se. V's are rumored to get a spin-off show, so I don't know if that is to be true. I don't know if they'll die. But I feel like Vox dying makes sense. The people saying Vox shouldn't die because they will drop the show or something. I feel like Vox dying would make sense because Adam died. Vox dying and returning as an illusion. I don't think they'll do that thing again. I don't know see how Vox would return as an illusion. Or Vox dying and then somehow getting into heaven might maybe it. I don't know how he would be redeemed, but like maybe that would fix it. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe, do all that great stuff, and yeah. Bye, guys. Now, today we basically got episode 7 and 8 of Hazbin Season 2 is finally come out. The finals, and honestly, I thought it was going to be left on a cliffhanger, so I'm happy it's not like left on a huge cliffhanger. It has kind of left on a cliffhanger, but not like a huge amount, where I thought they would be headed on a cliffhanger during like a bigger war. Yes. Oh, again, talking about episode 7 though, and today, and obviously in the next video. This is honestly great episode. Enjoy it a lot. We get to see Vox capture Lucifer at the start of the episode, so we already know how he captures him. Basically, he has a big X, and Lucifer's walking in there thinking it's Charlie. You could say this feels dumb for Lucifer, but at the same time, Lucifer's not really being any smart, realistically, in a way, right? Even if he is really old, doesn't mean he's necessarily really smart or decent smart. Of course, so he obviously still thinks it's Charlie, steps on the X, gets captured, and then still basically tries and says, oh, you're in hell for a reason, you didn't succeed in life, you were a failure in life, and then you're a failure in hell. You're absolute trash, garbage, talking to all that smack. And from what I can tell, Lucifer can't really be killed. He obviously probably will get really injured when Eve or someone shows up in season 3 or 4. Or maybe even die. But it's like in these 2 episodes, both of them, he doesn't really seem to be too harmed, just drained. But I'm going to talk about that in episode 8. Basically gets captured, and then Alistar is like, oh yeah, that you. Yeah, there's a whole little thing. He ends up singing a song about, you know, his human life and Brighter. Honestly, I will go over Brighter quickly. Don't really go over too much songs, but this song has a lot of like details or whatever in it. For example, in Brighter, if you guys actually go attention, because the Vox's whole thing is stealing what other people do. He basically stole Lucifer's song meant to intimidate him in episode 6, right? No, episode 5. In episode 5, and then use it to intimidate the Seraphins and, like, you know, intimidate heaven. And basically in this, if you guys look at his screen flashback, he'll kill like a producer or like a news reporter, right? And then takes their place when there's that same clothes and kind of have the same like personality, I guess, right? I don't remember exactly the personality, but at least the same clothes. Majority of the time, he would end up having them. I thought it was a nice little detail. The way the cult comes in is like, I think they've worshipped him as like getting rid of like fake news or like the other running like media or voicing people's concerns in the air. And also he had that trust us in, like, you know, the whole human life too. I guess that's why he uses it in the afterlife. So Vox could never like get anything on his own. He basically had to kill them, take other people's like success away from them. And basically, yeah, he kept doing this consistently, and then until he ended up building a cult around himself. And the way he gets his TV head is kind of funny. Some people hate it, some people like it. I personally don't mind it. The TV head drops on him, and that's how he gets his like thingy TV head. But I honestly don't mind it. Also, it's best to question if this happens like probably a couple years, or maybe not, maybe like a couple years, I would assume, before Vox and Alice's like little flashback meeting. Because he was relatively new, we don't know how new, and he still had the old like TV head, so he didn't really upgrade it. I'm pretty sure it was the same kind of square TV head. So this could be around the same time that like Alistar and Vox started to know each other, and yeah. And Vox probably felt like better to know that there's more people like him, and even in Hell was trying to do the same thing they did on a thing, use other people for his own success, which is great. In another song, we also see a bit more concerns about that V's are falling apart, and V's kind of hating the fact that Vox is doing this. I don't mind a little thing. It's just a little bit of the song, and basically schooling, basically just getting annoyed with Vox and had enough of it. And Vox doesn't really seem to know exactly how this would lead to his downfall or whatnot. It doesn't need to be his entire downfall, but at least the majority of it, or at least like not, at least a bit of it. And then we also know that Baxter's the one who created security. Honestly, Baxter creating security, I actually didn't think of it. I feel like it makes sense considering his flashback, he kind of works with Vox, and Vox was also thingy. So Baxter might have also built his like new TV head or whatever. Baxter's the security. So my plan is to basically use security to broadcast, it's like broadcast like all to heaven that Vox can't mess with. And honestly, and then we also get Serpentius and Baxter little thing. So their plan is to basically have Serpentius get a frequency in heaven to broadcast to hell, and then have Baxter hack into or get back into the Vox security, so he can use that thing to broadcast all of it to all of hell. That's the whole plan, and that's basically where the episode ends. Honestly, really good. Vox's ego is definitely gonna be his downfall. I already know how he lost. I'll probably rewatch the episode just to do a review. But all in all, I really enjoyed this episode. Episode 7 of Mass Destruction. I thought like I would definitely be left thingy in this. Also, I forgot to say that in this episode we do learn that like Vox's plan with Angel was to just get him on the thing to completely diss the hotel, completely disrespect the hotel, and just say redemption is a hoax. That's why their plan is to like broadcast Serpentius his redemption throughout all of hell, to people realize Vox is a liar, Vox is a schemer, Vox isn't on your side. That's the whole plan. And honestly, it is a good plan, to be honest. And the whole Angel thing, I feel like Vox, yeah, they do come to the conclusion that Angel is hypnotized and stuff. I don't know if it was this episode or the next episode, but they do come to that conclusion regardless. And honestly, I just really like this episode. There's a lot of like thing. We also get to hear Baxter sing because he didn't really sing in the thing. He was just talking in the first song, Guarantee. So we do hear him sing a bit, only for a bit. Honestly, I actually really want to see more Baxter in season 3, because I personally feel like that would be really sick if we get more Baxter in season 3. That's just my thought on the whole subject though, because more Baxter would be sick. Like I said, I really do love Vox's backstory. When I looked on thingy, some people said they like his whole thing, they just hate the fact that the reason he was basically has the TV head is because of that. It is probably because of that, but he also goes into his real life, the fact that he's obviously, a TV reporter and stuff like that. And people were very weird why does he have a TV head if he's the leader of a cult? The leader of a cult was like trying to do with TV and stuff like that, and broadcast through the thing. I feel like majority of people thought like Vox used to broadcast stuff, and that was also when he felt more like a god and all that. And honestly, I just can't. I have the picture of him dying of the electrocution in my head, and overall, even in his human life, he was using people's success for his own success, which makes the thing that Alice is literally right. Basically, he consistently uses other people for himself, and all his success and effort isn't really him, and that ties into episode 8 also, which episode 8 is a banger episode also. I guess I'll talk about that in the next video. But all in all, I am enjoying these reviews. I don't know how much I will be doing Hazbin after these reviews. I'll probably do a couple videos here and there, but Hazbin will probably slowly die down because I've been doing them consistently. I've done like 100 videos, shorts and like long form videos throughout this whole Hazbin month, and I'm enjoying it. Also, Manual Sagas is then episode in like probably a week or two, so I'll be also doing Manual Saga soon eventually. Again, all in all, I enjoyed this quite a bit. Lucifer getting captured is like, but at the same time, it's made of a giant steel, which Lucifer cannot break. I'm assuming he was bent on he couldn't break it, or he couldn't get free from it, because Lucifer is a powerful angel and more powerful than Adam. So I wouldn't have been surprised if somehow he managed to break it, or at least crack it in some way. But yeah. All in all, Vox is like way too cocky, knowing that like Lucifer can't harm him. But the fact is, does he? I don't know if it's never crossed his mind that the fact that there can be more powerful, or as powerful sinners, as powerful angels as there are Lucifer, right? Lucifer's a powerful angel, but the elders and stuff like that are probably equal to his power if they were able to banish him down to hell. Or either that, or Lucifer just accepted that because they don't want to fight or cause a war. All in all, also it's been like it's been like 3 hours since the last talking clip. All in all, I love the Vox and Anstar little conversations. Throughout episode 6 and 5, and now obviously this episode, it's just really great. You can tell obviously Alistair, he even says he's just too easy. He's easy to read for Alistair because Alistair's just consistently, picking at it and all that. It's literally not really a challenge for Alistair. All Alistair's facing is a bit of humiliation. You'll find out in episode 8 why he's doing this, although most people already knew it. Like, people had complained about how Alistair got captured by Vox It was obviously part of his plan, but you'll see how it comes to unfold in episode 8 with the deal with Addison Vox's deal. So I cannot wait for that. Well, I've already seen it. I can't wait to talk about that. All in all, episode great. I'll give this episode a 10 out of 10. There's not really I can rate improve. I love the fact that Baxter is now officially part of the crew. We didn't really see much this season. I'm hoping we see more in episode 6, season 3. Because in season 3, I would hope to see more Baxter. Maybe we get Baxter and Pendleton for like a flashback. I would love that. I actually love that little flashback thing. And the fact we get another inventor, scientist, whatever, is really great. I don't know who will be next to be redeemed. It could be Angel, Baxter, or Cherry, in my opinion. Those three are like the closest. We are getting a lot of Hush scenes, so maybe Hush will be redeemed. Like, Alistair seems like it's gonna be the main villain of season, next season. Or Valentino is gonna be a side villain for Angel, of course. I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed that Angel's dad will appear in season 3. I don't know if that's true or not. I think it has. I've heard it rumored about it. So if that is the case, we will probably see Angel getting redeemed or Angel becoming unredeemable or something. Because I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they end up pulling that. I do want to know the reason Angel ended up killing his dad. That would be really great to know. All in all, I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. There's not really I can say that I would improve on personally. There might be something like that. I'll probably do a video on how my thoughts on Charlie season 2. Of course, it's like the character development for it, but it's still really annoying to watch, regardless of its character development. I love the fact that Baxter is allowed fish to part of his crew, like I said. I love the fact that the reason he thought they were friends, because Vaggy's been taking care of the hotel, so he rotated his little pedo like 45 degrees or something like that. But that's just how he liked it, so he thought they were already friends because of that. And I actually kind of like that. Like I said, I actually don't mind Max as a character. I just wish we got more of him. I wish we get more of him in season 3. Him and Serpentis in season 3. Hopefully we get a song, maybe a flashback song, or a song just how great of an inventor they both are, or something like that, or their past friendship, or something like that. Because I feel like there's more to the story than led to that little flashback. Hopefully, I do enjoy the fact we're getting more flashbacks. I hope in season 3 we also get more flashbacks of people's human forms. For example, season 3 I wouldn't be surprised if we get Angel Dust and Husk's human forms, or how Alice and Husk officially made a deal, and how Alice cheated Husk out of his stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if we get those flashbacks. Hopefully we do. Okay, without further ado, to get that subscribe to good stuff. Like I said, a 10 out of 10 episode. Really enjoyed it. It was really great. All in all, I do like the V's. I like Valentino the least of the V's. I'll probably do a video ranking the V's worst from best or something, just to bypass the time on Hazbin content. Like I said, after I get a bunch of videos out after this, like edits wise and streaming wise, I'll probably get a Hazbin dry out thing, and you probably won't see a lot of Hazbin content moving forward for a while, or at least slowly, unless I've seen the announcements and stuff, or I get a little theory in my head or something like that. You probably won't see Hazbin content a lot. I did take like a 6 months break before I started doing Hazbin content again, then obviously another break. So yeah, I'll probably die down eventually. Also, the main Sagas is going to be picking up again, because the episode comes out in like 3 weeks, I think, give or take. 3 or 4 weeks until the episode comes out. I think it's 3 weeks until the main Sagas episode 5 comes out. Episode 7 comes out. Then we got 2 more episodes of that. Also, yeah, I literally uploaded like 20 videos last week, and I've done 100 since the Hazbin month came out, and all this started doing it. Okay, I am waffling now. Like I said, 10 out of 10 episode, nothing I can think of to improve on it. I do love the whole, I forgot to include this actually. I love, at the start of the episode, basically at the straight start, Fox gives Heaven like a predicament of like a timer, 24 hours to surrender, because there's more of sinners than there are of winners, and basically invades their thing. Also, we learn in this episode that he's had access to like Heaven's broadcast waves for a long time, so he could have done this anytime, but I guess he wouldn't really want Heaven to know this. So he breaks it down, breaks the gate off, and then basically he's probably the first series to actually do this, I would assume, try this. So even regardless, Vox is probably going to be decently recognizable, just because he's probably the only sinner, only also has ever managed to penetrate Heaven like that. Then again, he did use Lucifer as a weapon, so yeah. But I do love him giving you have 24 hours to surrender Heaven to me. He also, a lot of the time when he said that, he says me. He didn't say us. He said me, which indicates obviously he's thinking only for himself a lot because he wants to prove himself. I'm pretty sure he said me and not us, but yeah, he said that in the Guarantee song also. He's only out for himself and like obviously using others. Yeah, and then only way it's in his favor, of course. Okay, without further ado, so you guys next time, subscribe, do all great stuff. I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. I'll do another review when I can of the other episodes. I should hopefully get that both out today, or at least one out today, one out tomorrow morning. We will see. Without further ado, hope you enjoy, subscribe, do all great stuff, and bye guys. Now, Hazbin Season 2 is officially over. This will be my last episode review, and then I'll probably do a couple videos here and there, and then I will probably do some edits, and then Hazbin content will slowly slow down until it drifts into either the Mano Circus or other kind of content while I do on this channel. So yes, this whole month has been focused on the Hazbin content. Majority of the time, there's been technically Hello Boss because I've done like edits related to Hello Boss. But since this month started, I've literally done Hazbin content consistently. So yeah, it will slowly die out, and I'll probably do some Main Souls videos because Main Souls episode 7 will be getting released like in like 3 weeks, give or take. So I will do that. Also, this video will become a I will, after this video review gets out, I will be adding all the reviews together to make a big old season 2 review of all the episodes. That will be probably like 2 hours, give or take, or an hour like 50, give or take. All in all, this video is really sick. I mean, this episode's really sick. So the episode's called like the final curtain or something, right? The final curtain. Curtain Call is the episode's name. Curtain Call episode 8. Really sick episode. Basically, they have the episode starts off them explaining their plan. Then basically Flaggy and Charlie attending the whole like Vox meet-up thing because obviously Vox invited him and Vox thinks he's gonna get a big up plan. And then then the rest basically sneak in with Baxter and Nifty, and then Husk and Cherry. They sneak in and do their whole thing because I explained in the last review they're basically trying to hack into the system and all that, like they said last episode. They just explain the plan here in a bit more detail, etc. And obviously Nifty's with Baxter. I love that dynamic. I hope we see more of it in season 3, guys. You really quite enjoy that. Honestly, also the whole designs for the dresses and stuff, and the whole suits, I really do love looking at it. For example, Vox has a bunch of different suits. He was wearing like, white suits last time, and this time he's in a different kind of outfit. And other than the normal outfit, which I really do enjoy. He still plans to make Charlie admit he's the strongest sinner in all of hell. If you guys know, that's what Alistair wants him to do, because Alistair is technically the strongest sinner, right? His deal implies he's the strongest sinner, which I don't understand. Charlie, if Charlie admits he's the strongest sinner, does that make him the strongest sinner by technicality, as you're being recognized as the strongest sinner by a real? But I don't really know if that makes sense realistically. Like, the strongest sinner means power wise. Like, Alistair's still able to complete beat Vox, but he's not so he's technically not the strongest sinner, but because Charlie recognized him as the strongest sinner, he technically became the strongest sinner in hell, right? Because obviously Alistair was injured and he was a 3-for-1, so technically it was an unfair fight, so he was still technically the strongest sinner. But basically, Vox ends up getting tricks and to laying his hands on Charlie. After also, I do love the fact that he literally is completely gloating about doing a bit of rundown of how he's humiliated the hotel and Lucifer throughout the whole kind of thing. And also Camilla Carmine just talking to Charlie and that. She still doesn't regret it right now. She does it when she comes out at the end of the episode. But that's that. I don't mind her character, and to be fair, she is being very logical here. She wouldn't normally help Vox, but she's looking out for her own, which I feel like most people in hell would do. So it makes sense, really. You can't really blame her for helping Vox in that way. Like, it's not really. She knows he cares for himself, but at the same time, she also doesn't want like the angels to end up hurting her family and going against her. So it makes sense to want to help Vox, because if the angels end up beating Vox, it makes sense with Helby thing. Anyway, Husk and Cherry basically go in to rescue Angel. They end up rescuing her. We get a Valentino and Husk fight. Cherry's there also, but Cherry's mainly fighting the robot. Hosk and Valentino fight is so sick. I do enjoy that. I did say in the last video that I would like a Hosk and Valentino fight. I thought we were gonna get a Hosk and Velvet fight, but I'm actually glad they swapped out. Because the last one because this fight was pretty cool. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Obviously, they end up beating Thingy after cool moves. We see some more Husk moves, which honestly I love Husk's fighting style and in general. Angel is strangling Cherry Bomb, and then Angel ends up snapping out of it, and that leads on to the end of the episode. Well, not the end of the episode, but that will continue in the end of the episode, which I will talk about later. But the Husk snaps Angel out of it, which I thought was really nice, and the fact that Angel finally comes to his senses, and that's Angel's kind of thing. A lot of people were scared because Angel wasn't in the final songs, like wondering what was happening to him. But he's okay technically, and then we also get a Nifty and Velvet fight while Baxter's trying to hack into the servers and completely hack into the servers, which I honestly love the Nifty and Velvet fight. I feel like the V's in general, I don't know how technically, like Nifty and Husk were former overlords. I'm pretty sure. I will do a video on Nifty because Nifty isn't 100% confirmed. It's almost pretty much confirmed. I feel like most people would believe she's a former overlord, or at least someone formerly in power who made a deal with Alistar, and I will do a video on that in the future. But basically, we get a Nifty and Velvet fight, which very obviously end up beating Velvet, but Velvet does use some cool powers, which I liked. Basically, we also have Baxter helping Nifty with Baxter basically disabling her powers because she uses social media, and with her social media being disabled means her powers stop kind of working, which I thought was pretty nice. And while this is going, there's a lot of stuff going on, by the way, so I'm trying to summarize it. While this is going on, we have basically Charlie trying to convince everyone that Penchus has been redeemed, while thinking Baxter's obviously got the thing planned. And then while that's going on, Vaggies ends up entering, sees Lucifer in here, and tries to find a way to free him, but he obviously can't find a way. And yeah, there is this funny scene where Baxter just mutes Fox, and I find it really funny. Fox is trying to obviously talk over and convince everyone, and he just gets muted. In general, you would just do that. TV's annoying, mute. In general, I do that a lot of times. TV's too loud, mute it. Yeah, I really hope we get to see more Baxter and thingy. He has a bunch of other stuff, he gets bleeped and stuff like that. It is so funny because Baxter's the one who designed the whole system, so he kind of knows a way around it. I really enjoyed it. The fact that Fox is kind of helpless with Charlie actually speaking out I really love that. All in all, like I said, the Velvet and Nifty fight is great. The Husk and Valentino fight is also perfect. I don't know. Season 2 has made me like Valentino way more, but I know Season 3 is going to make me actually hate him. His character is great, but his actions as the character is bad. For example, Season 1, Fox and Velvet weren't that bad to me. Velvet is still not technically bad. She hasn't really done anything terrible, you know what I mean? Fox has hypnotized Angel and to do terrible stuff and consistently abuse Angel also with Valentino, and we obviously know that in Season 1, but Velvet hasn't done anything, which maybe reveals she has, but she seems the most likely thing. She's part of social media and stuff, and she was a former witch, I think, when she was alive. Hopefully we get Velvet and Valentino story in Season 3, a backstory, because I would really enjoy that. I actually like Velvet as a character, and she's definitely I really hope we do see more of her in Season 3, which we will probably see more of her in Season 3, if I'm going to be completely honest. Yeah, like I said, when Vox ends up laying his hands on Charlie by technicality, because Alistar, I don't know how people didn't clock this. By the way, no joke, about an hour or two before this episode released, I was looking on TikTok, read someone's comment. I don't know if it was leaked or anything, but I read someone's comment, and they said, oh, they're definitely going to do something how Vox literally thinks he's won, and he ends up touching Charlie on the shoulders, and then Alistair you broke the deal, right? And that's how Alistair gets free. It was basically the same thing. She ends up thinking he's won because Charlie admits he's the strong sinner. Chapter shows as the breaks free, and he was like, "You got me on a technicality, really?" As like, really, it worked, didn't it? And because of Vox being recognized as the strongest sinner by all of Hell, and also Charlie, it literally makes sense for Alistair, I guess, in a way that Alistair's no longer the strongest sinner, so he's able to break free from his chains. That thing is, the whole Alistair and Vox fight, during that whole time, Alistair is basically fighting Vox, right? Vox still tries to get outside help. He gets his big shark wave, right? A big shark to end up helping him. He needs his shark. And then when the shark can finish him off, he tried to take everyone with him. He tried to destroy the whole weapon. Like, during that whole fight, you can tell he literally couldn't stand his own against Alistair. He still needed to earn outside help. Like, I love the whole idea that Vox can't do anything by himself. Even in his real world, he couldn't get his success by himself. As seen as his flashback, he takes out his competition, takes their place, and then makes their success his own. He basically builds with other people, and even in this, he couldn't beat Alistair. He acts so confident trying to beat Alistair again, but then even when the fight slowly starts turning against his way, he literally calls his shark to come and help him. And even then, after his shark's distracting Alistair, he tries to destroy Alistair by using the weapon, because that obliterates a lot of Hell, and then everyone starts turning on Vox because of that, and then Vox has had enough. He doesn't care. His plan at the end of that was just to kill everyone, including himself. Like, not everyone in the radius, like half of Pentagram City. That was said. His plan was just to kill everyone. He don't care as long as he can wipe the grin off Alistair's face, because Alistair has been cocky this whole season to Vox, to be honest. Which I ain't, like, Vox has, like, allowed Alistair to consistently talk, and I feel like Vox didn't even, like, think of that. Like, Vox was too caught up in his moment. Like, Alistair was consistently egging him on to try, and then even then he was basically saying, "Oh, Chuma, my friend Vox here." The fight scene between Alistair and Vox was also really great. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I actually really enjoyed that fight scene. It was a great fight scene. Like I said, throughout the whole fight, Alistair, I would say they're relatively equal. Alistair obviously gets dominant, but I feel like Vox takes more damage until he calls Shockwave, and Alistair's obviously running from a big shark, which is understandable. The shark is massive. Honestly, this episode is really great. Like I said, after he uses that weapon, everyone in Hell turns on him. He gives up and then wants to wipe the grin off Alistair's face, and basically tries to kill everyone, with Valentino and Velvet also not wanting to die in the crossfire. Kicks him off. Things about to explode. They use the power of friendship to get about. Well, Hear My Hope song, which is honestly a great song. I actually really love the Hear My Hope song. I was actually vibing to listen to it. It was really nice. Also, Emily gets kind of injured when doing it, and they use all their powers in a cool way. From what I can tell, it was all overlords and former overlords. For example, Husk and Nifty, like I said, Nifty also used her powers. Angel and Cherry did not use their, like, kind of power of everything. So I think people have a decent amount of power in Hell, not like overlords, because Husk and that aren't overlords anymore, and Charlie and Vaggie aren't overlords, but they're angels. Vaggie's a fallen Exorcist, and then Charlie's a Queen of Hell, a Princess of Hell. So it makes sense they can use that kind of power. All in all, that scene was pretty cool. I enjoyed that quite a bit. That was actually a pretty sick scene. All in all, also through a scene we see that Alistair makes a deal with Rosie because his deal was broken. I don't think he's made technically a deal. His deal was to stay at the hotel as long as she fixes his stuff, help out as long as he fixes his stuff. I think that was the deal. Unless they do something else and it wasn't the deal, I think that was the deal. He just wanted his staff to be fixed so his power returns. Makes me wonder, he was still fighting, I'm pretty sure, that fight with his staff broken. So I'm actually, like, he was literally destroying Vox with his staff broken, by the way. Imagine the fact that his staff wasn't broken. You actually wonder, I don't know how they're going to end up becoming big villains. Like, I think sure Valentino's going to have a decent role in Season 3. Like, by decent role, I mean, if at the end of the episode, Angel ends up leaving the hotel because he feels guilty. I don't know how long he's going to be leaving for. Maybe the first 2 episodes, and then he ends up wanting to return. or something, or Charlie ends up trying to get him to return because he sees how bad Valentino treats him. But yeah, all in all, I feel like Angel's kind of blaming himself too much because like he was hypnotized. Obviously, everyone else kind of knows that, but Angel's like, "Oh no, it's my fault," which is kind of annoying. But at the same time, gotta set up season 3 somehow. Angel being split off, there's probably a lot more Husk and Angel moments in season 3, I would assume. Even from both perspectives, just them thinking about each other all day. Wouldn't mind that, to be honest. This season did end on quite the cliffhanger. Also, I love the fact that I don't think anyone knew that Lucifer had. I feel like that would be something Vox want to do. Also, during the Hear My Hopes, so there's an Abel and Luke kind of song. Being Luke kind of invades and wants to really take on Hell, even though like wasn't giving orders. Angel goes there to stop her, and then ends up taking the mantle off his dad. And then Luke sees Adam in Abel, which I wonder how that's gonna play into season 3. But Abel kind of finally steps up and then shows him who's really in charge, and you can see his symbol of Adam behind him, which I actually enjoy. I feel like that's going to be some relatively importance in season 3. These past two songs have also been really great. Honestly, I really love the fact that Abel had his like kind of moment to shine as a song, and I hope he gets more moments to shine. And Abel's probably gonna be a bit more like rough and ruthless, and not ruthless, but like himself. But when it needs to be, he'd probably ruthless and not like naive and stuff like that, or not like just doesn't like the fight and all of that. All in all, I enjoyed this quite a bit. Like I said, this season did end on a bit of a cliffhanger. The season ended on Charlie's mother calling, so we get Lilith calling, but it ends on obviously Charlie trying to call Lilith getting called, and basically, yeah, that's how the season ends. Lilith calling Charlie, and we don't even get to see what the conversation is, so we don't hear a voice or anything. That could be a fake Lilith. That could be Luke trying to get Lilith to say something. It could be anything. We have no idea. So I guess that leads us to theorizing about what could happen. Also, for some reason, I don't know how anyone would end up realizing this. Like Vox and that also somehow managed to spin it and make it seem like Valentino's the hero, which I feel like I'm pretty sure it was being broadcast that Serpentius was in heaven and all that stuff happened. I'm pretty sure most people know Vox like tried to like kill everyone, so I don't know how you can spin it for the V's to be a hero, right? I have no idea how you can spin it for the V's to be a hero. I feel like a lot of people were there, and especially overlords and stuff. So obviously, that's fake news. I feel like it's gonna be half and half because obviously half people would believe fake news, half people would not believe fake news. But like a lot of people probably believe in overlords saying it, even if it's the Prince of Hell. A lot of people probably believe overlords saying it because they are more like powerful, and by powerful I mean they're more like in power, and obviously Charlie's kind of pushover to most sinners, like she looks like a pushover. So I guess I can see how it got spun, but like it's just like, oh, fake news, man. I wonder how they're gonna spin it in season 3, how the V's are gonna handle their stuff in season 3. We also get a Cherry and Serpentius like little talk, which I can't lie. I hope they get somehow more tools because they look like they're delivering letters at the end of the season, so I cannot wait for that. If they have to, it looks like they're just going to be delivering letters through Emily or whatever, because Emily probably visits the hotel frequently. So yes, and it looks like a lot more guests stayed in the hotel. So I hope we get I hope we get more Cherry and Serpentius little scenes. I really enjoyed them quite a lot. They're just talking to each other like their old times. I enjoy that. Like I said, Nifty also hugs Baxter in that one clip. So I'm hoping in that episode in season 3, Baxter and Nifty have some like connection. I feel like I'm pretty sure there's room in Nifty and Baxter could have like a love interest thing going on, which I wouldn't be against, to be honest. I'm being completely honest. And by the end of the episode, we basically see with Serpentius being first redeemed. Well, not the end of the episode, but for Serpentius saying being first redeemed, and then a bunch of redeemed pictures. So it's gonna have like everyone who gets redeemed scap them. So maybe season 3 will be about redeeming random people, getting people redeemed, their sins redeemed. Some sins will be harder to redeem than others. Makes sense realistically. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a song of people getting redeemed with like people who are getting redeemed with like pretty easy sins to be redeemed. For example, cowardness is not easy, but like depending on what you're cowardly for, maybe. Other sins, I can't really think of any sins on the top of my head. Yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. I thought that was really sick. Alistair's obviously sticking around the hotel from Charlie thing. He found something else there will entertain him, but I feel like it's something to do with thingy. It also shows Lucifer, so maybe he's keeping an eye on Lucifer, and also he knows Lucifer can't harm it anymore. So yeah, I wonder if Lucifer's still injured. He seems alright, but like I just wonder. Also, Lucifer seems pretty happy that a lot of people are staying in the hotel. There seems to be a decent amount of people staying in the hotel. Yeah, I enjoy that quite a bit. I still find it weird that people are watching Vox stuff in the hotel, even though like thing. But yeah, all said and done, I will say this was a. So I had to I just had to go to a different clip so I can say it, because of the fact that like it's easier to find when I say 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 episode. It is a 10 out of 10 episode. I actually love this final. I don't know if it'll be better than season 1 final, in my opinion. Like, it's like a 50-50. The fight scene, you get to see more of it as a fight scene. So if you prefer as a fight, it's probably better than season 1. Because in season 1, we had Asda and Lucifer fight. And this we had Alistair, Husk, and Nifty fight. The main 3 people had a big fight. Cherry actually had a fight scene, to be fair, in this, right? But she was also kind of helpless, to be honest. She was also holding Angel Dust and fighting that little robot that's from a hell of a boss, because I'm pretty sure that's a robot Fizz from Mammon. Like, the Sin of Greed, which, yeah, that's just that, right? Like I said, a 10 out of 10 episode, and then I will probably be adding all this into one big video. Not this video, but like I said, all my reviews all together after this video goes out. I'll be adding them all together and then upload that as one big video. That's my season 2, episode 1 to 8 reviews. Because I've been trying to do other series, if I review a whole series. So yes, like I said, I'll probably slow down Hazbin content throughout this thingy. Like after this, Hazbin content will probably slowly slow down. Not like right now. After like a week or two, I'll probably slowly slow down Hazbin content. It really depends if I have any inspiration to do any Hazbin videos after that. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe, do great stuff. Tell me in the comments whether you guys like this final episode. I personally like this final episode. I thought it was a really sick episode, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. Okay, all in said and done, I am waffling now, just trying to get more time, to be honest, if I'm being completely honest. Without further ado, see you guys next time. Subscribe, do great stuff, and bye, guys.